Google Meet remains one of the best and free video conferencing tool alongside other tools like Zoom and StreamYard. Whether you are hosting a professional meeting or you're just joining up for a chit chat with the friends, you can get set up in less than 5 minutes. Now in our previous video, we went through how to set up and use Google Meet, and you can watch it in the link that will pop up above, or I'll provide one in the description to help you get the basics before we get into this advanced tutorial. What are some of the advanced Google Meet features that you need to know, or things that you need to put into practice if you are an advanced Google Meet user? Number one, I would say, is professionalism, or just the general outlook of how you present yourself. Now, this will entirely depend on the theme of your meeting. If you're meeting with friends, it's okay to show up in a short or even shirtless. It depends on how close with your friends. But when you're doing a professional meeting, you want to start thinking about having a better dressing, or just dressing professionally. That will help you give good first impression to the other person. Now there are people who go to the point of like judging you based on that first appearance, and if you are, for instance, applying for a job or presenting a business idea to somebody whom you expect funding from, they may judge you in some unfavorable ways if you don't present yourself well on that first meeting. So think about your dressing. Number two, I would say your environment. Now you want to try to be in an environment where there are no distractions. Make sure that there is no a lot of noise, background noise. Sometimes it is unavoidable, but you want to try to be in a place that at least you can be heard more than the noise in your background. There are no people like passing by, people coming around you. There is no disturbance at all, because this makes the meeting much more effective for you and the other participants of your meeting. You also want to try to be in a well lit environment. So if you don't have like a light, if you don't have a ring light, you want to try to use a place where there is natural light, like next to a window or a door. And also try not to have too much of it, because that will distort the value of the quality of your video, and may not present you well, or may not show your environment quite well. The third advanced thing that you need to be looking at is closely related to the previous point, which was environment, but this now is something that you can set up within Google Meet. And now this is things like background. Like if you notice, my background is a bit blurred out, so you can exactly see what's in the background. It could be messy, but I am the only one who is presented here. So if you want to do that, you're just going to go to your Google Meet setting here, and then you're going to tap this here, and then the three dots, you're going to go to apply visual effects, and then you're going to look for background. So if I go to backgrounds here, I have like lots of options. I can either opt to choose a blur background like I have done with myself. If I want to use an image, if I click on that, you'll notice that it's supposed to change my background to the selected image. Now it looks like the image does not exist. So if I pick, let me take something like that for meeting conference, then I'll scroll down, look for other options. So you notice that that has changed my background entirely. So like it appears like I'm in a different environment. Sometimes somebody can notice that you're using a virtual background, but it's much better than having like an embarrassing, maybe disorganized background, which might not present you well, or might put you on the disadvantage side. Now, the other feature that you have down here, if you go back up here, you have the filters. These are not very necessary unless you're in like a chatty environment where you just want to have fun. Then the last and the most, also one of the most important things, is adjusting the video lighting. So if you're in a place where you don't have like much light, and if you open the window, then light will be too much, then you can just turn this on, and it will try to like improve the quality of the lighting of your video to make it slightly more visible. So those are some of the basic effects that you can set up in your Google Meet. Like it's more of advanced, because it will help you have present your video, or maybe your meeting better. So you have backgrounds, you have filters, and you have appearance. The fourth advanced feature that you need to look at is host control. Now, there are times when you're the meeting host, you want to control what is happening in the meeting. You want to give people the permission to share their screens. You want to mute people out so that you try to like maintain order. There are usually people who are definitely going to disturb you in your meeting. So if you want to do that, usually go to the lock at the bottom left corner. So tap that, and then you can have all these host controls here. So what you have to do is just change this button to turn host management on, and then you want to scroll down and try to look for what you want to set. What do you want to let contributors do? Do you want to let them share their screens? You can to set that up here. You can turn it on or off to allow them to send chat messages. There are times that you turn off the chat to allow people to maybe read something or go watch something. If you're doing like this one of these mindfulness sessions, you want to just ensure that there's no spammy tech chats on the text. You can turn off reactions. You can allow who turns on their microphone. So this is very helpful if you have random people turning on their microphones and just talking, and also video down here. So it's up to you to choose or turn what you want to, I mean, control or not control. There is how if the host must join before anyone else. If you are the meeting host and you do not want people to go into the meeting before you, you can turn this on pre-meeting setup. Like you can go to the meeting, turn it on, and then no one else can join before you. And then you can also change the meeting access type. You have seen these meetings where you um, go you try joining from a shared link, and then you notice that there is that meeting, there's that notification in red. It's usually not like a good thing. Like this meeting is accessible to everyone, and it means anyone who has access to the link can join it. Sometimes it is good for like open and free meetings, but if you're hosting private meetings, this is something that you should just leave to trusted and not make it open to everyone. The fifth thing that you want to do is engaging your audience. Now, you can usually engage your audience by just talking. You can sometimes you do the chats, though it is usually like destructive. Sometimes you find it hard to continuously type and respond to questions in the chat. Now, if you are 2, 3, or 4 meeting hosts, or people who are helping you out, you can use that. But there are some other options that can help you engage your meeting attendees. One of those is, and that actually one of the most important one, is using a poll. Now, if you want to create a poll in Google Meet, you need to go to the activities button here, and then you're going to install and add on the support, whatever it is that you want to do. For instance, the mostly used add-on for meeting polls is Poly, so you just click on Poly here. If you've not installed it, definitely you have to like click on add. So let me just go back one step. So I just add here, and then I'm going to search for the add-on that I would like to add and use for a specific maybe meeting action. Just do that. If you're doing design, you have Figma, you have this Liquid Stack virtual whiteboard, you have online workspace for innovation, like you work together. So you can always look for that here. Now for polls, like we were saying, I've already installed Poly, so just tap on Poly here, and then I can opt to create a poll and hot text and icebreaker. So you can go and search further or just do further research on this here, and then you can proceed. Number 6 advanced feature or thing that you need to be doing with Google Meet is note taking. Now, if you're going to hold an important meeting and you do not have time to like write everything down, you don't have an assistant to record the most important parts of the meeting, then you do have there are usually like applications or extensions that you can use that will help you automatically take notes. Now these are artificial intelligence or AI tools that make it easy to note take or record notes from your meeting. One of them, the most common ones, is Otter. If you've heard about it, we have things like MeetGeek. So if you go to my extensions, if I go to my extensions, for instance, if I scroll down, I'm sure I have one of those here. So I have like MeetGeek. This automatically records your meeting, but you have to like go through that setup process where you link your Google account or your Google Calendar, and then give it access to all meetings. Any meeting that is done through or scheduled through Google Calendar, you can help. You can use MeetGeek to take notes. Before every meeting, you'll get a notification of this meeting is being recorded and all that. So that helps you record your meeting notes, and then you can share them later. The seventh advanced feature is follow-up or follow-up emails, follow-up calls. Now, this is not like built in within Google Meet, but you can always try to do a follow-up. You can send an email, you can make a call to remind people of maybe things discussed. You can share notes from your note taker to those who didn't manage to attend the meeting and keep them updated, because sometimes that happens, but you want to keep everyone on the loop or keep everyone updated, so you can share that. Make a call, send emails. It is very important to update people if you are the meeting host, so that you ensure that the end goal of your meeting or whatever project you're doing is achieved. Now, before we close it, one of the most important things also is maybe scheduling your meeting. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So that means I have to like end this meeting and start a new meeting. So if I do that, end call for everyone, I'm going to go to a new tab. Usually you can just type meet.google.com. Now this is one other advantage of Google Meet. You can use it even on your web browser without installing an application. So if I tap that, so it usually brings you to this page here. There is a video, I already shared the link. You can share it up in the above again, so you can go and watch how to set up this Google Meet. So I'm going to tap the new meeting, so then I can schedule in Google Calendar. Now this helps you add participants and automatically send them notifications before the meeting. So it can be considered a basic or just an advanced feature, but if you're pre-planning, it is the best. So let's just say we wanted to do something on advanced Google Meet features. So that is the title. You can select the time, the date, the time, and then you can set the notifications. Does it repeat? Then you have the join with Google Meet. So there's already an auto-generated Google Meet link here. You can copy it and now share it via other platforms, or you can scroll down and look for like guests. Let me look for the guest setting here, add guests. So you can select the participants or enter their email addresses. So if I wanted to send that as the guest, I want to add another guest. So these are just already pre-selected addresses of people I have communicated with before, so it comes here. But if I wanted to send something like that, it will bring me that. You have a list of email addresses, you can enter them there and just set. There was that option of like notifying the meeting attendance. So that's a basic feature. There are other settings down here that you need to do, like add a description. So you're trying to like let the Google Meet attendees understand what exactly the meeting is about, if they did know, or if you just want to give more details on exactly what is going to be discussed. So I think that's it for the advanced Google Meet features, and hopefully this helps you have a better meeting next time, or maybe have a successful session with your friends when you're meeting, or with your workmates. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumb up, share it with friends, share in the comments some other advanced features of Google Meet that you have used before that can help somebody make their meeting sessions better. And also don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue discussing on such tutorials and help us like have better experiences with applications and other things.